Do you do just day one usually?
No,
The Marquette Golden Eagles have flexed their might this season. A top 20 team and playing inside the Al McGuire Center where they have an 8-1 record this season. Marquette continues play in Big East women's basketball presented by SoFi. The Creighton Blue Jays are on a 2-game road trip. They've come north to Milwaukee to take on Marquette in a New Year's Eve matinee. Glad to have you with us this afternoon, along with my partner, Matt Schumacher. I'm Patrick Reed. These are teams that can key the offenses when they need to. They did in big spots on Saturday.
no doubt about it. Marquette, after a sluggish first 5 minutes against Providence, really pressed the gas, ended up putting up 85 points. Big reason why was Natisha Heidemann. And then on the other side, partner, Creighton goes to DePaul and stands toe-to-toe with one of the best offensive teams in the country. Both squads feeling really good about where they are right now offensively.
As for Marquette, they had to rely on additional contributors on Saturday. Alizea Blockton, the near 2,000-point scorer, went down early. Other players were called on and succeeded.
That's the beauty of having 5 1,000-point scorers on your roster and 6 seniors. We wish the best to Alizea Blockton. Hope she gets back soon.
Erica Davenport, one of them, 19 points, 20 rebounds. You see her there. Natisha Heidemann, 25 points, 10 of 19 for the floor in a big day for her. Across the stat sheet, Heidemann, you mentioned one of those 1,000-point scorers. She's up to over 1,500 in her Marquette career. Plenty of weapons for the Golden Eagles and Carolyn Keeger to use. For Creighton, it's been a next woman up situation this season for Jim Flannery's team, but Audrey Faber has been the steady one. She's the Big East leading scorer.
She has been sizzling hot over the last 3 games, shooting 54% from the field, and managed to get past 2 fouls in the first 6 minutes against DePaul to drop 19, give them the go-ahead 3 with less than a minute to play in the win against DePaul.
Faber can deliver the big buckets. She did here last season with an and-one play, 2.1 seconds remaining to give Creighton the win over Marquette last time they met here inside the Al McGuire Center. New Year's Eve, these teams can light it up from the floor and from distance. You'll see it next from Milwaukee. It's Creighton and Marquette.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
We are underway in Milwaukee. Creighton and Marquette. Matchup for the 17th time. The Blue Jays lead the all-time series 11-5. Marquette has won 2 of the last 3, including a couple in straight years in the Big East semifinals. Erica Davenport, just like Saturday, Matt, starts it off today inside.
I think she's going to be a big key for them tonight inside, Patrick, because the perimeter defending for Creighton has been pretty good this season. If Marquette can pound it in the paint a little bit, that'll open the floor up.
Which is what they did on Saturday and what they do right there on the outlet for Selena Lott, who gets the start in place of Alizea Blockton. And if you're just joining us, Blockton is out after a hard foul on Saturday in the first quarter against Providence, rolled her ankle. She tried to go yesterday, was on a stationary bike, but the nearly 2,000-point scorer is unable to go today. Creighton getting it inside to Tatum Rembo for her first points. They'll work in it again for Davenport on the spin and the score, and that's 4 quick for Erica Davenport.
That's exactly what Carolyn Keeger talked to us about after their loss to Notre Dame. She said we need to put more of an emphasis on packing the paint. That's exactly what they're doing here in the opening minutes.
But if you talk to any coach in the Big East, and Jim Flannery said this yesterday as well, it is how do we stop Erica Davenport? She creates a matchup nightmare for teams. She's a little bit undersized for her position as Rembo again finds some space. Tatum Rembo, a sophomore from Loveland, Colorado, who's taken over the point guard duties for Creighton, finding some room early.
And a fearless competitor. Came off the bench, was 6th off the bench last year, and has worked her way into the starting lineup as a sophomore.
3-second violation whistled against Marquette. A turnover for Marquette. Ed Sidlasky, Luis Gonzalez, Karen Prito are officials for this afternoon's affair. There's a look at Tatum Rembo, who will key this Creighton offense. And it's going to be one, Matt, that's going to use the outside of the arc to create most of their offense, which is what they've been doing in recent games at a high clip of success.
26 nationally in three-point percentage and first in the Big East Conference. They used 7 three-pointers in the second half to get over the hump against DePaul.
A team in DePaul that likes to shoot the three. There's a collision, and it'll be Marquette basketball on the foul against Brooke Kissinger. Kissinger's a player we'll hear a little bit more later in the show from the third member of our team, Jenny Fisher. She went off against DePaul Saturday.
Really came out of nowhere, too, with that performance, but that's what this team has needed with all the injuries and shuffling of lineups throughout the first part of the season.
Good pass from Davenport to find the Wilborn cut on the inside. Monty Wilborn looking to have a big game at some point this year. She's averaging just under 10 points per game. She's capable of taking it to that next level. And look at Selena Lott there laying out with the effort, and she is shaken up.
A really aggressive defensive play. Gotta love that anticipation from Selena Lott. Hope she's all right. Oh, man. She hit the floor hard here at the Owl.
Lott is known for the way she plays defense. That's why she was recruited to Marquette. She has a motor that doesn't stop, Carolyn Keeger says. And we saw it take her into the floor there. So Alizea Blockton is out. Selena Lott is standing on the sideline. So Isabel Spingola now into the game for Marquette. She'll be a player to watch from the perimeter. Nice bounce pass inside from King for Davenport, who has 3 buckets early.
And that combination of Heidemann and King in the backcourt is as good as you're going to find at the Division I level anywhere in the country.
Kissinger on the inside for Faber on the spin, and the right-handed bank shot good for Audrey Faber. 17.3 points per game, the leader in the Big East in per-game scoring. With Blockton just a couple of ticks behind at 16.5 points per game.
I like that aggressiveness early on from Imani Wilborn. We've seen her take a couple of shots now from inside the painted area. She comes into this game today, Patrick, 4 of her last 24. And Carolyn Keeger had multiple conversations with her throughout the week talking about confidence, saying we need you to affect the game in other ways when your shot isn't going down.
Wilborn is a player who was the Big East Tournament MVP in 2017 when Marquette won Carolyn Keeger's first Big East championship. Saw her there, the 5th-year head coach of the Golden Eagles, an alumna of the program, program's all-time leader in assists. And there's Wilborn, part of that 5-player, 1,000-point class, and she grabs the board. So Heidemann, her first look from 3, draws a foul as Olivia Elger, who just checks into the game, picks up her first.
That's the last thing you want to do defensively if you're Olivia Elger. A tip-out rebound, second chance, and then Heidemann gets 3 points, a potential 3 points at the stripe. You talk about Carolyn Keeger and the legacy that she's already built here as a head coach. The way that she has tutored these young guards like Heidemann and King. Boy, have they developed into some fine young players.
Last year with this 5-woman senior class, it's going to be a different look Marquette team, but still plenty of work to do here in 2018 as we roll into 2019. Marquette today ranked 20th in the Associated Press poll, 2 spots up from where they were last week. So continue to move up those polls. The power rankings look good for the Golden Eagles. They have a shot at being a top 16 seed in the NCAA tournament.
And now here comes that zone press.
Sarda able to break it, along with Jade Owens. Owens, whose time has been limited at Creighton by injuries, will run into the double team on the baseline. She'll have 10 to shoot. Audrey Faber on the wing, look out for her. As Elger will spin, tried the kick-out pass, running out of time with 2. She shoots right over King and scores.
And Elger bails out the Creighton Blue Jays. They were out of sorts, had 4 players around the arc, didn't know where to go, and Elger, with her moves, able to get a bucket.
So creative for a player that's been a little bit limited this season by injury as well. That's been the hallmark of Creighton's season. But no excuse, and they have played well coming into Big East play and started off on the right foot with the win at DePaul on Saturday. So Wilborn fights through the contact and scores it. Amani Wilborn is feeling it in this game.
I like it. Wilborn getting into the paint, using her body. Such great control around the rim.
7 games she's gotten into double figures this year. Marquette 6 for its first 6 from the floor, and they'll have a chance here as Van Clunen will take the basketball. Heidemann in motion to King, left all alone with the spot and the connection for Danielle King.
And a much needed timeout for Jim Flannery and his Creighton Blue Jays. Big punch in the mouth right now from Marquette.
Marquette's had 80 points over the last 33 minutes against Providence on Saturday. The offensive onslaught continues. 19 on the board.
This is not a place that stands still. We are a community rooted in faith, nationally recognized for undergraduate research, pushing boundaries in business and healthcare education, and engaging the world. Always striving to be the best in what we do. We are inspired and motivated by our outstanding students who will make their mark on the world. We stand together on the edge of our bold tomorrow, open to incredible new possibilities. This is our passion. This is the Creighton difference.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
This is not a place that stands still. We are a community rooted in faith, nationally recognized for undergraduate research, pushing boundaries in business and healthcare education, and engaging the world. Always striving to be the best in what we do. We are inspired and motivated by our outstanding students who will make their mark on the world. We stand together on the edge of our bold tomorrow, open to incredible new possibilities. This is our passion. This is the Creighton difference.
A 7-for-7 start from the floor from Marquette. They have an 11-point lead. Creighton is going to need a lifeline, and our Jenny Fisher is going to tell us who that might be.
Three-point threat, and they've attempted over 350 three-pointers already this season. They've netted over 38% of them, and the most recent player to catch the hot hand is Brooke Kissinger. She went 6 of 7 from beyond the arc against DePaul on Saturday. And she actually holds the Nebraska high school state record for most three-pointers made with over 360. She comes from a basketball family as well, as her twin sister played at San Diego and her younger sister Taylor playing at University of Nebraska. And head coach Jim Flannery says that it's performances and players like that that can become contagious for Creighton and kind of spark their offense.
Shout out to Creighton SID Glenn Sisk for this fact. Brooke Kissinger had 22 points in total last season, rang up 20 against DePaul on Saturday.
Hadn't had more than 3 points in a game all year leading up to that contest against DePaul. But Jim Flannery said, look, in practice she's been really good. It's just been about transitioning over to the game. And sometimes when your team is in desperation, that's when players really show up.
10 seconds for Creighton. The press from Marquette, which can be like a vice grip at times, is a problem for the Blue Jays.
And you can see the frustration for Jim Flannery. This is a team that has really struggled to find a consistent rotation of players, and as such, we're seeing them struggle a bit with who is in what role when breaking the press.
Into Van Clunen, who runs into the double team but finds some space. And Owens will try to settle it down for Creighton here. Blue Jays, when they shoot the basketball, doing okay so far. 4 for their first 6, but the offensive opportunities have been limited by Marquette's pressure, have been limited by Marquette's efficiency at the other end as Olivia Elger rings up a 3.
The big difference to me at this point has been Marquette's ability to get to the free throw line. Already 5 free throw attempts here in the first quarter.
They did so 25 times against Providence on Saturday, and Carolyn Keeger says that's where we want to be. Granted, they weren't great at the free throw line against Providence, but she was still proud of the amount of times they were able to get there. As Sarda will work it into the front courts. Blue Jays in this game 1 for 2 from outside. They're shooting over 40% from beyond the arc the last 3 games as Faber will light it up.
Shooting 54% over her last 3 games.
Heidemann left-handed. Heidemann has the weapon of being able to use both hands, ambidextrous. Not many players at this level can change hands in flight the way she can.
And on top of that, she may have the best hairdo in the league.
Oh, yeah.
She's been a joy to watch over these last 4 years. Had a chance to talk with her after the win against Providence, and she said the biggest difference with this team is the level of maturity.
Averaging 24 points a game over her last 2 as King will try a second 3. It's in and out. Sarda has things settled as Agnew has the target lined up. Jalen Agnew with her first basket.
And it's nice to see her getting going early, partner. You see the wrap on her wrist. She's struggled at times catching, dribbling, and shooting the basketball. And now here she is again.
Active hands there from Agnew. Matt mentioned that the brace is on her right wrist. It has slowed her down this season as Wilborn heads to the floor on a traveling violation. 3rd turnover for Marquette, which has done just about everything else right in this game. Rembau will try from 3. It's short. Marquette will slow it down. So Selena Lott returns after hitting the floor hard early in the first quarter. Peyton Brodsky will see her first action as well. Freshman from Papillon, Nebraska.
Need to see more movement from Marquette. This is a team that has the athletic advantage, especially when you talk about one-on-one guarding.
We saw it play out that way on Saturday against Providence, but Creighton is pressing out defensively. Marquette, meanwhile, defensively has had some of their best numbers this season under Carolyn Keeger. King will save this. Rebounding the ball has been part of that for Marquette, top rebounding team in the Big East. Rebounding's been a struggle for Creighton as Heidemann, her 3 is long. Creighton 9th in the Big East in rebounding, and Jim Flannery says we have to be creative and look for ways to kind of overcome that with some of the matchups that we'll see in this conference. Long 3 from Sarda misses. Heidemann from just inside of the arc is off.
Bit of a heat check from Saturday's win against Providence. She was red hot all night, and that contest has missed the last few.
It's yet to score a field goal in this game. Faber. Good rebound there from Brodsky. Able to go over the top of Heidemann. So that will give Creighton some time to work with 70 seconds remaining in the first quarter. They have weathered the early storm. It was 19-8. And Creighton has scored the last 9 points, make that 11 on the inside look by Faber. So 19 apiece as King will carve through, run into Faber. Wilborn thought about it now. Lott will try from three. And that's good, rolling in.
And that was all set up by a beautiful drive and kick by Danielle King. Great vision on the floor.
Offensive game is slowly coming together for Lott. She's hit 43% from outside this season.
I think it's a confidence thing too, partner. You've got 5 teammates who are 1,000-point scorers. It's tough to find your role offensively.
Lott has the steal there on the pass from Brodsky. Shot clock is dark for Marquette. Golden Eagles hit 7 of their first 7 from the floor, but have struggled since. Rolling just 1 for their last 8. Wilborn has the neat look inside into traffic for Lott. So Selena Lott having a nice offensive first quarter. An early injury sent her to the bench. No problems for Lott. She comes back in, scores 7 points in Marquette. With a 24-19 lead on Creighton, there's Lott through the trees, scoring for Marquette.
This is not a place that stands still. We are a community rooted in faith, nationally recognized for undergraduate research, pushing boundaries in business and healthcare education, and engaging the world. Always striving to be the best in what we do. We are inspired and motivated by our outstanding students who will make their mark on the world. We stand together on the edge of our bold tomorrow, open to incredible new possibilities. This is our passion. This is the Creighton difference.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
Marquette is pulled back in front of Creighton as we get set to start the second quarter here in Milwaukee. And injuries have affected these two teams in different ways. Our Jenny Fisher has more on how that impacts today's game. And we'll get to Jenny a little bit later. Matt Schumacher, Patrick Reed, Jenny Fisher with you here in Milwaukee. And credit Creighton, Matt, in the first quarter for doing a good job after Marquette set the tone early, getting back into the game, getting into their offense, making shots.
Yeah, they knocked down some big three-point shots on the right side of the arc. Good ball movement in the back end of that first quarter, something that was lacking in the first 5 minutes, which allowed Marquette to get out to that lead.
In your picture there, you saw Alizea Blockton, who's on the shelf today for Marquette after injuring her ankle against Providence on Saturday. She should be expected back soon. No worries there for the Golden Eagles, as she now has 1,989 points in her career. Jalen Agnew starting the scoring in the second for Creighton. Agnew starting to come along as well, as we mentioned it before, dealt with the wrist issues early in the season and limited on the scoring front against DePaul, but doing other things.
You talked about the rebounding struggles of Creighton. I think having Jalen Agnew back, someone who averages a little over 5 rebounds a game, she really helps in that effort.
She's got that size and the wingspan, kicks it out there, but instead to King. King will look at with the left hand, roll it out. Good job to secure that for Tatum Rembow. Agnew from distance.
Not a bad shot, though, from Agnew. It was contested, but it's a good look. It's a shot she can make.
It's her first miss of the game. Agnew with 5 points in the quarter. There's Davenport to keep good things going for Marquette. She has 8.
And notice Carolyn Keeger got her back in the game before the second quarter even started.
Had 19 and 20, yeah.
Yeah, her coming off the floor really allowed Creighton to get back into this game.
Three-pointer for Peyton Brodsky, a 40% shooter from outside the arc. Quickly Wilborn, Van Clunen alone, spots for 3 that rolls out. Lauren Van Clunen, somebody looking to get it going offensively for Marquette. Just at 4 points per game this season. On the deck, that's Saunders. Her first basket attempt of the game. King with the behind-the-back dribble. Do flashy things. Will slow it down. Van Clunen was in bad position.
And there she just has to be a little bit more patient. Maybe went up a half a second too early before she got her feet set.
Lott with the hands again. Will take it herself and do the work. 9 points for Selena Lott.
Nice spark in the lineup tonight because of Alizea Blockton's injury. Great competitor, and she plays with pace, which fits right in with the MO of this program.
4-point lead for Marquette. Creighton shooting 56% for the game. Tough try for Brodsky, who will go to the foul line. It's Amani Wilborn's first foul. And the first foul whistle against Marquette in this game. Freshman Brodsky 5 for 7 at the line coming in. These wholesale changes for both teams. We'll see Audrey Faber in the middle of your screen back on the floor for Creighton. Faber with a good start to this game, 7 points. And a 19-point game against DePaul in the late basket. So lift the Blue Jays to the win on the road. And coming here to Milwaukee, Creighton didn't necessarily have the benefit of a little bit more turnaround time. They played a night game on Saturday in Chicago. Had a couple of practices yesterday, a couple of light practices. Marquette was at home the full day Saturday and into Sunday after an early start. Wilborn, yes. 8 points for Amani Wilborn, who's on the verge of double figures. She's gotten there 7 times this year.
Nice to see her asserting herself and has been aggressive in getting into the painted area, which is where she's most effective.
Elger from just inside the arc created the space but couldn't get the shot. Heidemann sees Davenport. Davenport can't take the tough shot, but Wilborn can take the 3, and that's long. Sarda in good position on the rebound.
You know, it's interesting. You talk about quick turnaround for this Creighton team. It's not only that, but it's the fact that they don't have all of their bodies at practice. Sarda practices very little. Owens practices very little, if at all, especially on these Saturday, Monday, Friday, Sunday type games.
Same with Olivia Elger, who is handling the basketball. She has it now with 5 to shoot. Rembau will try the baseline going over top of Spingola. It taps off of Davenport. Creighton will get saved by Marquette. Erica Davenport would like to have that handle back, and she's so good at securing those rebounds. Comes into this game, does Davenport, 6th in the Big East in rebounding. Creighton has time for a settled possession here. Faber will take the early shot. So Heidemann on a long 3 try. That redeems it for Marquette. They give Creighton the possession Nothing doing for the Blue Jays there, and then Marquette the three to make it a 9-point lead. The lead was as many as 11 in the first quarter, and with 10 to shoot, Creighton in a little bit of trouble again. Elger will try to bail them out as she goes into the lane, skips for Sarda for three, and that's long. Temi Sarda has yet to make a basket in this game. Heidemann will direct for Wilborn. Wilborn on the deck to Lott, and now Davenport in trouble. Lott for three, got it.
They are executing the 10-10 rule to perfection. Score in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock, defend your opponent, and force them deeper than the first 10 seconds. Phenomenal execution by Marquette.
There's Selena Lott. The defense turns into offense. Marquette's a 12-point lead on Creighton.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
Family on three. 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
One of the reasons that Marquette has been so successful over the last 3 seasons, 5 different 1,000-point scores. One of them is Erica Davenport. She has 8 points today. Jenny Fisher has more on her contributions.
She's a 5'11" senior who absolutely dominates the paint, Patrick. She's Marquette's most efficient scorer in terms of field goal percentage. And just last game, she racked up a career-high 20 rebounds. If you catch Davenport in practice or warm-ups, she actually ventures outside of the paint and out beyond the arc. Giger says that she's been working on her three-point stroke to expand her game, and to get her out to long distance would absolutely stretch the floor for Marquette, adding another weapon to this already potent Marquette offense.
4 times this season, 4 times in her career, she's had 20 or more rebounds. Coming off her 34th career double-double on Saturday. The 19 points, 8 of 13 shooting, 20 rebounds, 7 of them on the offensive end, and that's where she makes the difference. Able to get into position and get those second chance points for Marquette.
She's really smart with her body position. There she is again, showing up on the defensive side.
A mobile interior player is such a luxury to have. And Marquette has that in Erica Davenport.
And she may be slightly undersized in terms of her height, but she more than makes up for it with her hustle and her IQ.
Faber, time winding down, will lose the basketball. Not a good possession there for Creighton as the 2-on-1 for spin. Gola won't go. Faber there to grab the rebound. Jim Flannery on the sideline, vocal to his team. The team now 10 for 22 shooting in the game, 45%. They've turned it over 7 times. A good possession and basket here would go a long way.
You look at a lot of the passing, it's all on the perimeter. They're not able to get those entry passes into the paint right now.
Kissinger can't roll that off the glass. Heidemann kicked ball. Monty Wilborn will check back in as Marquette will get a player back onto the floor that has delivered so far a big day today. 8 points. Averages just under 10 per game. Foul on the inbounds play. King colliding with Brooke Kissinger. Second personal against Kissinger. Marquette is not a team that's going to be content just to take the three. They want to see what their options are offensively. Against Providence on Saturday, they took a season low 12 three-point attempts. Blocked by Davenport, who was in the right place, and Faber is frustrated walking away.
Well, Faber, 6 shot attempts to this point, plus that one right there. She hasn't gotten the ball in a lot of situations that are advantageous for her. She's had to work hard to catch the pass in a scoring situation.
It remains a 12-point lead for Marquette. That's where we've been since the last stoppage. Marquette has scored the last 9 points in the game. Good bounce pass inside from Kissinger. Agnew able to handle, can't roll it home though.
That was a beautiful backdoor cut by Jalen Agnew. They could have really used that basket right there.
Marquette feels it can take some time here. Pass across. Davenport is fouled, and Natisha Heidemann can make it look so flashy, and does there with the pass.
And she wanted that one to go down. This is a team that shares the basketball as good as anyone you'll see in the Division I game. 12th in the nation with 19 assists per game. They already have 12 on 14 made field goals this afternoon.
Davenport, a little bit of a struggle with the foul line, and there's the pass. And the thing that this Marquette team does as well as any, you don't rely on that one player to dictate, set up the offense, make those scoring passes. It's everybody that can do it.
Oh yeah, and we've seen it so far in this first half. We've seen Wilborn run the offense. We've seen King run the offense, and of course Natisha Heidemann. 3 very capable floor generals.
And Davenport can pass it out of the post as well. Creighton is 0 for its last 8 from the floor and hasn't scored in nearly 5 minutes. We'll try to change that with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Agnew running out of time. Will take it herself from 3, and it's short. Owens comes in, grabs a big rebound. And Jade Owens will take it and settle things down for the Blue Jays. The senior knows when to do that. Sarda. A pass through for Agnew, who saves it. King takes it away. Numbers for Marquette. It's King on the fake and the score. The look off for King, and she has 5. And Marquette extends its largest lead to 13.
And they are all smiles right now. They love this kind of basketball. This is playing at their pace.
Agnew will cut into that.
And they needed it. And they need it from Agnew or Faber.
5.5 minutes since their last bucket. There's a foul on the movement by Brodsky.
Look at this. Fake the no-look pass. Double clutch to the cup.
Davenport had plenty of room there. Can't give her that opportunity. She has 11 points.
It was so hard to defend something like that. Great rolling action to the post, and you've got one of the best facilitators in the game, and Natisha Heidemann, who is feeling it right now.
Closing in on 1 minute to play in the second quarter. Shot clock running down to 6. To the corner, Owens will fire the 3 long. Sarda there to get the rebound.
They need to take advantage of this second opportunity.
Creighton has rebounded the basketball well in this game, 16 to Marquette's 15. There's Agnew going across and scoring. Jalen Agnew getting creative. Now she has 10. Heidemann left-handed in the lane is short, and she is able to successfully save it off of Agnew.
And probably save a talking to from Carolyn Keeger. Maybe a little bit ahead of herself with that one, but does a good job of fighting to get it back.
She has a mind to recover when things don't necessarily go her way, as Blockton puts Elger into the deck. Check that, Wilborn. Second foul for Amani Wilborn. And Marquette operating without Alizea Blockton today in her 1,989 points. The first player in Marquette history, men or women, to reach that total. Passing men's all-time leading scorer Jarrell McNeil, who had 1,985. That's trouble for Kissinger. 3-on-1 for Marquette. Behind the back, Spingola. Elger commits the foul. Thought she had the basketball.
Natisha Heidemann is having fun playing basketball right now. In talking with her after the win against Providence the other day, you know, Carolyn Keeger told us she's just been the most consistent player throughout the non-conference and now into the early conference part of the season. And I asked her about that, and she said really it comes down to practice. She feels confident. She feels like she's practicing better and more consistently than she has to this point in her career, and man, is it paying off.
Mentioned she's having fun playing basketball. The cool part is we're having fun watching her
No
play
doubt.
basketball, and it has been that way since she's been on campus. And this season really hitting a peak. So a 14-point lead from Marquette. Agnew will try to change that and does. And Jalen Agnew has hit some threes in some big spots. She is 13. King, yes! Count it! It might garner a second look, but Danielle King had it let go at a thrilling moment to close out the first half in Milwaukee. Danielle King has 7. Marquette has a 13-point lead on Creighton as we head to halftime in Milwaukee.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
one voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
You've been away, and since we've been away, the basket that Danielle King scored at the end of the second quarter has been disallowed by the officiating crew. So let's take another look at that last play to close out the second quarter. It was Danielle King who tried to let it go just before the clock wound down to 0. You see it here. The ball is moving in her hands a little bit. She has it there 0.2 of a second, 1/10 of a second. And you be the judge. You make the call.
I think that was still just on the tips of her fingers, barely.
But the officiating crew here in Milwaukee says no baskets. And so our score at the break, 44-33 Marquette. The Big East Conference will host its third annual transition game program, or has hosted it in New York City this past fall. The interactive program aims to assist current women's basketball student athletes in the transition from college player to emerging professional, both on and off the court. Big East schools will send women's basketball student athletes who have been selected at the institution's discretion to this event. Nearly student athletes, 30 of them attended, along with leaders from the conference's campus administrations.
For the third straight year, the Big East women's basketball family came together for the annual transition game program. Nearly 30 student athletes attended the event in New York City, which aims to assist these players in the transition from college to their professional lives, both on and off the court. Fittingly, the program begins with Big East alums who can lend their perspective about playing at the next level.
And this year we had our player panel was all Big East former student athletes, which was really special. And I think it was great for the young women to see the opportunities that exist after their college career, whether they want to go overseas or try to aspire for the WNBA, or even sometimes an injury might prevent you from pursuing that dream off the court, and to actually hear from players who've gone through some of the highs and lows of transitioning from college to the next level.
So much, whether it's about playing overseas, if that's something I want to do, or how Caroline Coyer talked about how her professional life now. I just learned so much, and it's such a great to take in and really think about.
I was really excited. I knew that they had done these transition games in the past, and I actually had a friend who did it last year, Emily Lear, and she just loved doing it. It's just really cool to give back, and especially I think when you are separated from the game a little bit, this is like a way to stay connected with the players and give back your experience and all of your perspective that you have.
I didn't know Jessica January did all of that, what she did, so I was like, oh, she's a former teammate. I looked up to Jessica. She was at DePaul, and I still do. So it was very exciting for me to see her just give back and come back. I didn't know she was going to be here, so I was like, oh, hey, Jess.
I think it's phenomenal to be able to have been a part of a conference that sets their athletes up for success and doing whatever they can to make sure that they have those opportunities. And I think it's great for these athletes to be able to take advantage of it, and especially for us on the panel to be a part of it, and just having experience and hearing what other people have to say are some of the biggest lessons that you can take with you, and I think it's great that they have that chance.
Additionally, Transition Game discusses the opportunities in basketball that go beyond playing at the next level. For Providence Associate Head Coach Priscilla Edwards, it starts with networking.
it's just so important. You know, we interact with so many people, from boosters to donors to professors to, you know, common supporters of the sport. Just getting to know them a little bit more, and also talking more to your ambitions and things that you're passionate about goes a long way. And you find that those connections that you make years ago might come back, you know, once you're done playing, and benefit you in multiple ways.
While another basketball season lies ahead, what Transition Game is all about is preparing the Big East student athletes for their future.
Going into my senior year, this is definitely helpful, just giving you confidence and giving me some faith that after basketball there's going to be something, and there's always going to be, because of this network that we're making through the Big East.
It shows that they really care about us, because they care about what we do after college and how it's going to happen. They're not just like, okay, go out there and figure it out yourself. They're really helping us, and I think it is really valuable.
I think the Big East Conference really stands for the holistic approach to education. That includes not only the athletic piece, but also the academics, working in the community, and really developing our student athletes as complete people. And this program, I think, more than anything, is a nod to that. We're trying to get them to really understand their full potential, especially when their collegiate careers are over. So for us, this kind of program, as does Freshman Fundamentals, really represents the essence of what the Big East is all about.
Welcome into the Big East Digital Network Villanova guard and the Big East Player of the Week, Kelly Jaycott. Kelly, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Your team's win over Georgia was your third 20-point game this season. You're averaging 14 points per game. Last year, you averaged 11.3 points per game. How has your game offensively developed this season?
Well, I always lended to Harry's offense, and now that I'm a junior and Mary's a junior, Adriana and Jana are also upperclassmen, we're all very experienced, and we use his offense to our benefit. But yeah, everybody gets each other open on the passes, and like I said, his offense lends itself to shots.
That win over Georgia was also your team's 5th straight win and your last non-conference game. What did your team learn about yourselves in non-conference play that you're looking to build off of getting into the Big East season?
Yeah, so we knew coming into the game against Georgia, they're an SEC team, they're really athletic. Our original plan was to do a box-and-1, take out their best player, but all of them were really good, so that didn't work out as well as we planned. But we worked through it, and that win was really good for the momentum of the season. But I would say our biggest thing was when we lost to Virginia Tech and UCF, it was kind of like a reality check for us, and that kind of was a turning point. And we realized, like, we can't give up these kinds of games. Like, we need to come back and win.
What did you learn in that reality check?
I would say we were up on Virginia Tech, and then we kind of blew the lead. So I think that our third and fourth quarter stretch, like, we need to pull through. And, like, when things aren't going well, like, we need to work together.
You open up conference play at home against Butler. However, that's 2 weeks after this last game. How are you keeping yourselves in game mentality over this break?
Well, we're still practicing. We practice all the way to the 21st. We'll be back on the 26th, and we play the 29th. So the break isn't that much of a break, but when we go home, yes, we're going to celebrate with our families, but we're also going to keep in mind that, like, we're still in basketball season. We're still ready to play.
What are some things you're looking forward to celebrating the holidays with your family?
So I'm one of 4 girls. I'm the oldest, and I really look forward to, like, watching my sisters have a good Christmas experience this year.
Kelly, when we were talking about the fact that you're one of 4 girls, all of your sisters play basketball as well, you told me. So 2-on-2, what are going to be the matchups and who's going to win?
So I would say I would match up with my sister Julie, and my sister Kate, she plays at St. Joe's, would match up with Jill. So me, Julie versus Kate and Jill. And I don't know, it would be a tough call on who would win that match, but it would be fun.
So after you get to relax with your family, your team heads into conference play. What are some of the challenges that playing in the Big East brings?
I think the biggest thing is that every single team in the Big East has potential to win any single game. So Harry and our coaching staff has emphasized multiple times that, like, it's on us. Like, if we don't come to play, then we could lose to any team on any given day.
What's the identity that your team is looking to build of yourselves in Big East play?
I think the identity that we like to bring is that we're consistent in every single game, and we're not going to let up on defense. Like, we might have an off day on offense, but we're going to come ready to play on defense.
Kelly, Merry Christmas. Enjoy the break and good luck the rest of the season. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. You too.
An 11-point lead for 20th-ranked Marquette against Creighton as the teams continue Big East play on weekend number 1 on our New Year's Eve holiday. Patrick Reed, Matt Schumacher back with you in Milwaukee. Matt, in the first half, Marquette was consistent offensively. Creighton found ways to get back into the game after a sluggish start.
They did, and they did it with the shooting of Jalen Agnew for the most part from beyond the arc. The three ball is the great equalizer in college basketball, and this team can flat out shoot it. They need to find a way to get more touches, though, in the paint, I think, because the perimeter defending from Marquette has been excellent so far this afternoon.
And 13 points off of turnovers for the Golden Eagles. Selena Lott has led the charge there for Lott, the junior, in the first half, 12 points. We take a look at our stats from the first half, and turnovers, they've been a factor for Creighton, leading to those points from Marquette. Creighton, though, turning things around with the outside shooting, something we knew that they were going to do. They want it to be a little bit better than 5 for 16, but it's a start.
It is. You talk about turnovers, though. Marquette has scored 13 points off of Creighton's turnovers. Creighton, how many points off turnovers do they have? 0. That has been the difference so far in this ball game.
Marquette has been able to pose its will inside as well. 22 points in the paint for the Golden Eagles. A carryover from Saturday's win over Providence. So far, so good for the Golden Eagles this afternoon in Milwaukee with an 11-point lead at the break.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
This is not a place that stands still. We are a community rooted in faith, nationally recognized for undergraduate research, pushing boundaries in business and healthcare education, and engaging the world, always striving to be the best in what we do. We are inspired and motivated by our outstanding students who will make their mark on the world. We stand together on the edge of our bold tomorrow, open to incredible new possibilities. This is our passion. This is the Creighton difference.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Marquette and Creighton are set for the second half in Milwaukee. The Golden Eagles have taken advantage of turnovers to create points and to create an 11-point lead as we get set to start the second half. Jenny Fisher has more as she got a chance to talk with both coaches before the start of this half.
Patrick, Carolyn Keeger is happy with their team's performance so far. She said if we can hold them to 33 points again this half, they can win this game. She was especially happy with Selena Lott and her play. You saw her take that hard hit on that steal and come back into the game. As far as head coach Jim Flannery and Creighton, he had said that his team's transition defense just needs to be better. They need to weather this storm that Marquette has been creating on offense and be able to guard them to finish out this game.
Selena Lott, Jenny, has a career high in points as she has reached 12. Her previous career high was 9. And Matt, her day started interesting. It was a shortstop-like dive for her to keep a ball in play. She went to the bench for a little while and came back and has delivered.
This is the future of Marquette women's basketball right here, because when the seniors graduate, they're going to be looking for somebody who can carry the load. Selena Lott is that for the Golden Eagles.
5 of 6 shooting the basketball for Lott. 5 steals in 15 minutes to go along with those 12 points. Meanwhile, Creighton, the outside shooting hasn't quite been where it's been as a standard in recent games, but it's helped.
It has helped. Jalen Agnew has been fantastic, 3 of 5 from downtown. Faber only 3 3-point attempts in the first half. They need to find a way to get her the basketball in more effective areas. That's not an easy thing to do against a Marquette side, and you talked about it in the first half, Patrick. They've really emphasized defense this year. They've improved significantly on that end because, let's be honest, this team has the talent and the firepower to make a deep run in March. But defense, I think, has been the crutch for this team in years past, not this year.
Down 10 points per game from last season to this season for Marquette. Carolyn Keeker very pleased with where her team has been defensively, said they are starting to get the picture. And they're doing it on their own, and it is a turnover on the first possession for Marquette as Erica Davenport shuffled her feet.
That's the nice thing about having 6 seniors and players who have all been under your tutelage for the last 4 years. They are problem solving in the film room without the coaches having to say anything at this point in their careers.
Creighton will start the offense in the third quarter as Faber will launch from 3. Faber now in the game, 1 for 4 from outside. Heidemann trying one of her own at the other end, and King saves it right into Brooke Kissinger. Acrobatic and heads up at the same time for Danielle King.
Acrobatic is the perfect word to describe Danielle King, and really Natisha Heidemann as well.
Just the control to be able to make that play in midair to set up Wilborn here on the jumper in the lane. And Matt, if there's another thing that Creighton has done well in this game to stay in it, it has been rebounding the basketball. They have an 18-17 advantage there and a chance to go to the line as a result.
Which is atypical of this Creighton team. They've really struggled on the rebounding side. But Jim Flannery told us that was the big key for him coming into tonight's contest, was rotating on the defensive side to be in position to rebound. And you're absolutely right. They have done that well this afternoon.
And he said it was just getting enough rebounds to stay in the game, not win the rebounding battle, but just get enough to stay in the game. But they're doing more than that now, and they're going to need it. Down 9 as Sarda makes a pair at the line. First points for Temi Sarda.
And just the second trip to the line tonight for Creighton. That's an area where they can come back in this game.
Marquette a little sloppy to begin this third quarter. As good as things are, sometimes it's not always going to be easy, as Faber will line up the 3 and connect.
Quick release, barely had her feet set, just enough time to drop it down. Great shot from Audrey Faber.
Audrey Faber now into double figures with 10. Marquette needs a good possession here. Wilborn will do it herself, and Faber gets the block. Both ends of the floor for Audrey Faber. Successful for her.
2 blocks a game so far this year for Audrey Faber. Great positioning. Staying with the quicker Wilborn.
10 to shoot for Marquette. King feeling the heat of Agnew as she'll go right and now left. 2 seconds to shoot, in trouble. There's Davenport to bail them out.
And like a great quarterback, Danielle King has the ability to extend plays. She was lost, scrambling, keeps her head up, keeps her dribble, and finds Wilborn flashing in the lane.
Erica Davenport now on 13 points, 6 of 7 from the floor, put in good position by Danielle King. Now 5 to shoot for Creighton. Sarda on the head fake. She'll take it herself short. Had Agnew across as an option on a skip, but couldn't get the ball her way. Tough shot for Heidemann that rolls out. Natisha Heidemann, 1 for 7 from the floor in this game after 25 points against Providence Saturday. It's been a little bit more difficult today.
No doubt, but she's affected the game in other ways, and I think that's the big difference with her this season. 4 rebounds, 4 assists. She's had a steal or 2 in there as well. Mature enough to understand that she can affect the game in other ways and be an impactful player even when the ball is not going through.
And she did that too on Saturday. 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. So even when the shooting is good, she'll do those other things as well. As Wilborn will spin, go to work on Rimbaugh, and Spengola comes in for the rebound. Stepping up, Heidemann to the free throw line. That rolls home. A good feeling there for Natisha Heidemann.
You saw a little clutch of the fist after that roll down. A friendly bounce here at the Al McGuire Center.
Back to a 10-point lead for Marquette. 3 good there for Olivia Elger.
Can't shoot it any better than that.
She's knocked down a couple in this game. There's King, got it, and 1. So King didn't get the bucket to end the second quarter. She gets it here and will get to the line.
Too easy for Danielle King getting into the lane. Somebody on the low block has to step up with help side defense.
Elger picks up her second personal foul. The 80% free throw shooter misses. Lott, King creating trouble. And it's a cross in 9. Creighton had a 10-second violation earlier in the game. To Agnew for 3 alone. That's off. Lott the rebound. Looks back. Lott wants to take it herself into the lane and is fouled. And how about that confidence from Selena Lott to do that on her own?
12 points already. 5 of 6 from the floor. Taking on a larger role now that Alizea Blockton is out of the lineup. But she is more than capable of this. Was a fantastic prep player. And last year earned points with her defense, and now this season, because of injuries, taking on a larger role on the offensive side.
Lott had a chance to get Jade Owens moving from side to side back to the basket, and just the ability to be able to see that and create as Jim Flannery is displeased with what he sees. Karen Prito, Ed Sidlarski, and Luis Gonzalez are officials this afternoon. You mentioned Lott. Lott comes out of East Greenbush, New York, just outside of Albany, New York, in the Capital District. Coming west to play her college basketball at Marquette, and today the most successful of her career. As Lott now has 15.
They have really struggled against this press.
Here's King. Teardrop jumper in the lane for Danielle King. Off the pressure. Creighton trying to break that pressure now with Elger swimming to the basket. Spengola, good job to tap it away. Outlet comes for King, goes off of Agnew. And Sarda will settle things down here for the Blue Jays. Elger's had some big buckets in this game. It's going to be called on to be in that role. She averages just over 8 per contest. Tatum Rimbaugh will return. Jade Owens will head off. Following the Selena Lott personal foul, her first. Foul trouble hasn't been a factor for either team yet in this game, as we approach the 5-minute mark of the third quarter.
This is the point in the game where somebody has to assert themselves for Creighton offensively. And that's what you need right there. Aggressiveness, getting into the lane. If you can get free throw opportunities here in the second half, all the better, because the clock is stopped and you get a chance to chip into this lead.
So Temi Sarda will try to do this, just that. Sarda 2 for 2 in her first trip.
But this is just the third trip to the free throw line this afternoon for Creighton. They have to find a way, Patrick, to get into the lane more here in the second half.
Especially when you have a shooter as good as Sarda is, coming in at 96%. And she has all 4 of her tries. So back to a 10-point game for Marquette. Heidemann will shake the shoulders, come up short, second tap, no, and into the hands of Rimbaugh. Tatum Rimbaugh puts on the brakes. Now Agnew sees the seam.
Look at that defense from Marquette, stifling. And as good as they are at running the fast break, they're even better at defending it.
Olivia Elger shooting over that good defense. Wilborn at the other end crashing into Sarda. And for Sarda, that'll be her first personal foul. Elger shooting over the tight perimeter defense from Marquette. Olivia Elger, 11 points. And Creighton working its way back in here at the Al McGuire Center on a New Year's Eve afternoon.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
This is not a place that stands still. We are a community rooted in faith, nationally recognized for undergraduate research, pushing boundaries in business and healthcare education, and engaging the world, always striving to be the best in what we do. We are inspired and motivated by our outstanding students who will make their mark on the world. We stand together on the edge of our bold tomorrow, open to incredible new possibilities. This is our passion. This is the Creighton difference.
Marquette gathering around head coach Carolyn Keeger in her 5th season here. She's led Marquette to back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances this season. A top 20 national ranking entering today's game, but coming in, knew that Creighton was going to try to stretch them out. Marquette was going to have to defend the perimeter, and that is something we'll have to watch the rest of this game. How well can Marquette defend that?
I think their zone press has given Creighton a lot of issues. The one caveat, though, is that when you break the press, that leaves some pockets open around the 3, and Creighton's done a nice job of exploiting and knocking down those open shots. It's a fun matchup. I think if Creighton can keep it to single digits going into the 4th quarter, we're going to be in for some New Year's Eve fireworks.
Meanwhile, at the other side for Creighton and Coach Jim Flannery, he said one of the things that's advantageous about this particular stretch of games going back between DePaul and Marquette is the two teams are pretty similar, so the preparation is similar for those games. They know what to expect.
We've had some success against Marquette in this league, 6-4 against the Golden Eagles over the last 10 meetings. A lot of close games, too. Last 6 matchups have been decided by 2 possessions or fewer.
Marquette has come out on top in the Big East semifinals. The last 2 years these teams have matched up. Both Creighton and Marquette were in the NCAA tournament a season ago and trying to get back there as the calendar rolls over to 2019. Marquette trying to position itself perhaps for a top 16 seed. Creighton trying to get in as well. Inside on the deck, Davenport in trouble. Heidemann with space, connects. Natisha Heidemann now into double figures with 11.
And a smile on the face of Carolyn Keeger as she nods her head. That is what she can expect from her senior leader this season.
Keep shooting, those shots will fall. And they didn't early in the game, now they are. Taken away by Davenport. Heidemann sees Wilborn. Wilborn through the lane, carving in short. Lott has the rebound. All alone, Heidemann for three, yes! Back-to-back three-pointers for Natisha Heidemann.
She started off the game 1 for 7 and has managed 14 points.
Creighton needs this possession and Faber delivers. Through the hands of Wilborn, mistake there. Sarda will push the pace. Sarda around Davenport's. For Elger for three, and that's short. And as you mentioned, a single-digit deficit might be interesting. Marquette trying to avoid being in that situation as we wind down this third.
Yeah, you know, Marquette, they just do it in so many different ways. You know, in the first half, especially in the first quarter, it was a lot of Davenport. In the second half, it's been a lot of Natisha Heidemann from beyond the arc. And when they have a double-digit lead, they do not give it up easily.
With 9, Heidemann, off-balance pass to the corner. Lott for three, and is fouled.
How about that play by Natisha Heidemann? How many players in the country have the ability to go up for the shot and then at the last second find a cutting teammate? I can guarantee you that was not in Natisha Heidemann's mind when she started driving to the hole. But her athleticism and her wherewithal, bar none in the Division I game.
Good passing creates opportunities. It does here for a lot at the foul line. Trying to extend a career best day. Maybe more importantly for her, doing it against a team like Creighton, doing it in Big East play where she hasn't had this opportunity to start offensively yet, but even more important today because Alizea Blockton has not been available to play in this game. 14-point lead. Brodsky on her way through is fouled.
Who's it going to be in these final 12 minutes for Creighton? Audrey Faber, really have to credit the defensive effort by Marquette. They've done a nice job of really making it tough for her to catch and shoot. Agnew, of course, dealing with the wrap on her hand. That's affected her ability to score, to catch, to be aggressive. So who's it going to be here in this last quarter and some change?
It's going to be a turnover for now. You've got those options as Jim Flannery examines what his team has in front of them, which is a Marquette team that can score it with any player on the floor right now.
You know what's amazing, Audrey Faber shooting 5 of 10 from the field.
Heidemann pops and is short. But a second chance for Marquette, which is now +5 in rebounding total. Davenport trying to fight her way back. Bounce pass for Wilborn. Count that and one.
The confidence with which she has played the game tonight has been something we have not seen from her over the last couple of weeks. Again, came in 7 for her last 24. And tonight has been huge, and they've needed it with Alizea Blockton on the bench.
$12 for Wilborn, 1 of 4 in double figures. The contributions have come throughout the starting lineup for Marquette. 4 of the 5 starters plus 10. King sitting on 9. And King will take the offensive foul. So there's the contribution from King. That's the third against Brodsky.
And this is where the game can sort of start to get out of hand. Just a really smart play by an undersized Danielle King, coming after big buckets on back-to-back possessions offensively for Marquette.
Marquette had the huge turnaround Saturday. Creighton had one of its own to get back in the game against DePaul. We wonder if that's going to come. Lott loses the basketball. Elger, who can be an impact player down the stretch. 3 for 5 shooting from three-point range is Olivia Elger. So Agnew, Faber, Elger all on the floor along with Sarda and Brodsky. Agnew on the drive. And maybe that's more of what we need to see from Jalen Agnew at this point in the game.
Understanding personnel. Agnew, the quicker player in that matchup with Erica Davenport, understands that she's got her out on an island and takes her right to the cup and gets a pair.
So both teams into the bonus in this third quarter. Will be shooting 2 the rest of the way.
And again, we talked about it. This is an area at the free throw line where Creighton can really make some headway as we head into the fourth quarter.
No reason they can't get to the line, as Agnew now has 15.
And they're a great free throw shooting team.
Davenport with the right hand. Erica Davenport continues to add to a big game, now sitting on 15. Three seconds difference, shot clock to game clock. As Olivia Elger, defended by Natisha Heidemann. Screen comes. 4 to shoot, long 3, straight on was off. King, final seconds, will she get one here? There's a foul on the shot by King. A similar scenario presented itself at the end of the second quarter. The basket was made by King, but the call was overturned. Let's see here.
Look at that pump fake. Can't sell it any better than that. That shot was off. Ball was clearly out of her hands before the light on the opposite hoop went off. And on top of that, through contact, she's going to get a chance for an and one. How is it that Danielle King finds the ball in her hands?
Twice.
With seconds remaining.
Twice.
And twice has put it in the bottom of the cup. And look, you look up at the scoreboard and all of a sudden it's a 19-point basketball game. And that, in essence, is what Marquette does. You think you're hanging around, and then all of a sudden they make a couple of runs, hit you hard, and it's nearly a 20-point basketball game.
Foul comes against Agnew. The basket is good. So not just 19, but potentially, Matt, 20 at the end of the third quarter. The clock shows 0.5 of a second remaining. So this time it's good for King. And her 10th point of the game gives Marquette a 20-point advantage as we head to the fourth quarter inside the Al McGuire Center, coming to life. Marquette trying to get its second straight Big East win at home. Danielle King willing her team to a second league win.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
This is not a place that stands still. We are a community rooted in faith, nationally recognized for undergraduate research, pushing boundaries in business and healthcare education, and engaging the world, always striving to be the best in what we do. We are inspired and motivated by our outstanding students who will make their mark on the world. We stand together on the edge of our bold tomorrow, open to incredible new possibilities. This is our passion. This is the Creighton difference.
Marquette has imposed its will on Creighton to close out the third quarter. The Golden Eagles enjoying a 20-point lead for the 20th ranked team in the country. And as we look at how they got there, a lot of it has been the play of Natisha Heidemann, especially in the third quarter. Had not shot the basketball well, but started to heat up, gain more confidence as the quarter rolled on.
Just her ability to fight through adversity. You know, that's one thing she talked about in the post-game interview after Providence. Demeanor, body language. They don't get down when things aren't going their way. As seniors, they understand it's next play mentality. She's had that today, and she's been a massive spark for this team and ultimately has been the catalyst for this 20-point lead headed into the fourth quarter.
And then Danielle King has helped Will Marquette there. She had a last-second basket at the end of the second quarter waved off. No such problem in the third, and part of the reason why is we were told by Ed Zidlatsky, one of the three on the officiating crew, was that the contact was made when the clock showed 0.5 of a second. Therefore, the basket was good. So we thank them for their candor, their explanation to us. The crew working here in Milwaukee today: Ed Zidlatsky, Luis Gonzalez, Karen Prito. Along with Matt Schumacher and Jenny Fisher, I'm Patrick Reed. Marquette trying to get to 11-3 overall, 2-0 in the Big East, and 9-1 inside the Al McGuire Center this season. Inside comes Agnew. We saw this start to bubble up in the third quarter. Agnew going to the basket and going to the foul line.
Great backdoor cut by Jalen Agnew.
And so Agnew now has 17. But she misses and can't convert the one in one play. Heidemann in midair, knocked away, and will be called for a travel. Let's send it over to the third member of our team, Jenny Fisher.
Patrick, I stood in on that last huddle for Creighton. Head coach Jim Flannery said Marquette is making you pay when you relax. They're exploiting his team both offensively and defensively, and he wants to see a more concerted effort and a better mental game out of his team.
Didn't pay off there as King goes to the basket and can't score. Elger, the long pass ahead for Faber. Creighton able to get points in transition. 14 for Audrey Faber. But the Blue Jays have more work to do down 16.
Have to get stops.
Heidemann left-handed. 16 for Heidemann. And again, another long outlet pass. Brodsky can't score it. Davenport was able to get back. Spinning Davenport, falling away, traveling. Carolyn Keeger bringing in her senior from Clarkston, Michigan, who has done just about everything today. The 15 points, the 7 rebounds. Coming off a 19-20 game on Saturday against Providence. Faber threw a tough shot. Heidemann was vertical. That's what you're allowed to do this season, go directly up and not be whistled for a foul, as King will try and hit from 3. And for King, her second 3 of the game.
And I just think Creighton's tired. You look at how Marquette pushes the pace, and even on that last sequence, Faber comes down, misses a shot, and the ball is already past her by the time she gets to half court. The way that Danielle King and Natisha Heidemann pushed the pace for Marquette, second to none in the country.
You mentioned being tired, Matt. It's not just today that Creighton's had to bail out of a hole, but it was Saturday as well. That's a lot of time to come back in 2 games against 2 teams that push the pace like Marquette and DePaul do.
And they go pretty deep down the bench, 9 or 10. But that's not really by design coming into the year. It's been more out of necessity.
Heidemann thought about the step back. We'll find Van Clunen instead for 3. Selena Lott continues a big day. Already a career-high points, as she is at 15. Long possessions, ideal now for Marquette. Lott in a tough space, had Sarda draped on her. They wanted a foul, and Carolyn Keeger is very vocal about that.
And Elger is feeling it right now.
Agnew long.
She's limping up and down the floor, gritting it out, playing tough.
Through the seam, Van Clunen. Would have been something if that had gone for Lauren Van Clunen. Foul is on Temi Sarda, her 4th. Carolyn Keeger continues her conversation with the officiating crew. First chance of the line today for Lauren Van Clunen. And Alzea Blockton, who is nearing 2,000 points for her career, unavailable today. Injured in the first quarter against Providence on a hard foul underneath the basket. But Marquette has shown, as we anticipated, they would be just fine without her contributions.
And the good news is that she was working out today on a rowing machine. Now, granted, she wasn't on her 2 feet lifting weights and bearing weight, but at least getting some mobility in that ankle. Hopefully a quick return for Alizea Blockton.
Sped yesterday on a stationary bike during practice. Sarda was forced into a tough shot. Heidemann skips over to save it. Shovels it. Wilborn underneath. Foul.
And again, set up by Natisha Heidemann. Corrals the ball on the defensive end, flips it in transition offensively, and puts Wilborn in a position to get to the cup and now get to the free throw line.
Amani Wilborn has 12, make it 13. Wilborn into double figures for the 8th time this season. Now Marquette getting to the foul line, and they'll have another chance here. 23 foul shot attempts in this game. They're closing in on Carolyn Keeger's goal, which is 25 per game.
Now, this is a team that reflects its head coach. And, you know, it's been a long time coming. It's been an interesting journey. Hasn't always been easy for this Marquette team, but they are really flourishing as a unit. 6 seniors, but then on top of that, you've got players like Selena Lott, Lauren Van Clunen, who played significant numbers last year as freshmen and are now reaping the seeds in year 2.
All 7 Marquette players have scored. Sarda around Heidemann. Shot from Morgan Turner misses. Sarda will have a second chance. Temi Sarda has 6. Marquette has done it with that relatively short rotation today. Is King on the miss. Van Clunen the rebound. There's a travel whistled against Van Clunen. So Marquette getting contributions throughout its lineup. The recipe for success. All 7 players contributors today. And the Golden Eagles enjoying the fruits of that with a big lead on Creighton as we move through the 4th quarter in Milwaukee.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
This is not a place that stands still. We are a community rooted in faith, nationally recognized for undergraduate research, pushing boundaries in business and healthcare education, and engaging the world, always striving to be the best in what we do. We are inspired and motivated by our outstanding students who will make their mark on the world. We stand together on the edge of our bold tomorrow, open to incredible new possibilities. This is our passion. This is the Creighton difference.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
79-56, Marquette taking care of Creighton in game number 2 of the 2018-19 Big East women's basketball season on a New Year's Eve afternoon. We get ready to roll over into the 2019 calendar year. And for both of these teams, it's not going to get any easier on the other side of New Year's Day. Marquette is back here against DePaul on Friday. Meanwhile, Creighton continues its 4-game road swing to open up league play at Villanova and at Georgetown Friday, Sunday.
2 very capable teams, 2 teams that return a lot from last year.
Villanova was in the NCAA tournament last year along with Creighton, Marquette, DePaul. The contingent of Big East teams advancing to the national tournament. Marquette has played a schedule coming into Big East play that has been top 25 worthy. It's Morgan Turner knocks down the jumper to get on the scoreboard. Traveling violation against Natisha Heidemann. And the schedule is one of the things that Carolyn Keeger pointed to as being so important to where Marquette is. They had so many moments of pride throughout that non-conference schedule. In fact, look no further than a loss on the non-conference schedule against Mississippi State, a team that has been in the national championship game the last couple of seasons. Close loss down in Starkville has turned into some good things for Marquette.
They really could have won that game.
That's what they believed. And they come into the Big East season coming off a somewhat difficult loss at home against Notre Dame, a team that, yeah, is ranked number 2 in the country, but Marquette pushed to the wire last year when Notre Dame was the national champion of women's basketball. Turner gets a second bucket in as many trips down the floor. But that game was against a Notre Dame team featuring Arike Ogunbowale, who, the senior potential National Player of the Year candidate, was playing at home here in Milwaukee. Tap to King, and Ogunbowale coming up through the ranks could call Amani Wilborn and Alizea Blockton and Marquette teammates at the AAU level.
And Muffet McGraw just earning her 900th career win earlier in the week.
And doing it against the team where she started her career coaching at Lehigh. Pretty impressive to have that all line up.
She's built a tremendous program over there. And
hanging is Sarda and can't hit.
A lot of similarities between that program and the Marquette program. And I wouldn't be surprised if 20 years from now, Carolyn Keeger's looking back at her career with high hundreds in the win column.
A lot of good storylines around women's college basketball, around the Big East as we get set to begin the new year. Big East features a couple of top 25 teams, DePaul and Marquette. Again, they'll match up on Friday. Spingola on the cup, scoop and score.
You know, this is a league that could have 3, maybe even 4 tournament teams this year. They had 3 last year. I think it really depends on how this Creighton team can heal up, what they'll be like in the back half of the conference slate.
Count the 3 for the walk-on, Chloe Dworek, who more than typical walk-ons has had more game time, more experience for Creighton. But the Blue Jays, a little bit overmatched this afternoon in Milwaukee. Marquette 81, Creighton 65. Just under 2 minutes to play in regulation.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
This is not a place that stands still. We are a community rooted in faith, nationally recognized for undergraduate research, pushing boundaries in business and healthcare education, and engaging the world, always striving to be the best in what we do. We are inspired and motivated by our outstanding students who will make their mark on the world. We stand together on the edge of our bold tomorrow, open to incredible new possibilities. This is our passion. This is the Creighton difference.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Up big in the fourth quarter, Marquette will come back to the court with some new faces, including one that has some deep family ties to Marquette. Jenny Fisher has more on Chloe Murata.
Murata wears number 52. It's the same number that her father, Mark Murata, sported when he played for Marquette. And the same number that her older brother, Cameron Murata, who is a senior on the Marquette men's team, wears. Head coach Vince Keeger says that she's Marquette's future. Although that she's a lone freshman on this Marquette women's team, she's been making an impact already.
He's a high-impact recruit coming into this program, and her time will eventually come here. But for right now, a senior-dominated group is the key to success for the Golden Eagles as Althea Anderson makes a nice pass across for the score.
So many great performances tonight, Patrick, but none more impressive than Amani Wilborn, especially when you consider her last 3 games. Was not shooting the ball well, was not playing aggressively and confidently. Has turned that around here this afternoon in a big conference game against Creighton.
That last basket got Amani Wilborn to 15 points for the game. Tracked down by Rimbaugh. Wilborn, nice day, the 15 points, 4 assists. As we're under a minute to play in the 4th quarter. On the inside, Sarda has it rim out. Murata and Marquette will take care of the basketball over these final possessions of the game. So DePaul is up next for Marquette. As we mentioned, another big matchup in that game. Friday on FS1 will be just our second top 25 showdown in league play since the Big East realigned in 2013. That's pretty exciting.
Big time. And you know what? These 2 teams now senior laden in DePaul and Marquette. Fireworks, to be sure, coming up Friday on FS1.
That'll be here inside the Al McGuire Center in Milwaukee. A few tenths of a second different shot clock, game clock to finish it out for Creighton. Jim Flannery's team will continue its time on the road, heading east, Villanova, Georgetown. Cutting in Rimbaugh, and that's an acrobatic shot for Tatum Rimbaugh to walk away with today. Final seconds tick down, and Marquette, the 20th ranked team in the country, has its 11th win of the season and an 85-67 win over the Creighton Blue Jays on New Year's Eve in Milwaukee.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
This is not a place that stands still. We are a community rooted in faith, nationally recognized for undergraduate research, pushing boundaries in business and healthcare education, and engaging the world, always striving to be the best in what we do. We are inspired and motivated by our outstanding students who will make their mark on the world. We stand together on the edge of our bold tomorrow, open to incredible new possibilities. This is our passion. This is the Creighton difference.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Marquette celebrating an 85-67 win over Creighton to move to 2-0 in the Big East. Jenny Fisher is with Marquette head coach Carolyn Keeker.
Coach, you told me if your team could hold them to 33 points again at the half, through the second half, you'd be doing pretty well. You held them to 34. How was your defense able to contain Creighton?
You know, I thought we did a great job on their shooters. The first half, they got open for some open threes. Second half, we made some adjustments. We put a hand up. I thought we bailed them out a couple times too much, but we'll fix that. But overall, I'm really, really proud of our team. Selena Lott stepped up, Danny King, Amani. I mean, I could go down the line. I mean, our starters, every single one of them had 15 points. Rebounding, I mean, that's what you do when somebody goes down. You protect each other, and they stepped up in a big way today.
You mentioned your starters have big games. Who really sparks that offense to be able to give you those good stretches towards the end of the game?
You know what, I think right now Natisha is playing at such a high level that people are really feeding off her on both ends. She's passing the ball great, but the way our offense is set up, any night can be somebody else's. And we ended up with 22 assists. And so when we're passing and sharing the ball, it's beautiful to watch.
You have a big opponent in DePaul coming up next. What are you looking forward to in that game in order to defeat them?
Same thing. We got to defend the three-point line. It's a rematch from the conference tournament, so we have a sour taste in our mouth since last time. But DePaul's a great team, and we're going to have to show up, and hopefully we can do what we did tonight.
Coach, thank you so much, and congrats.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Lots for Carolyn Keeger to be excited about from today's game, whether it was defending the three-point line, whether it was the contributions of everybody throughout the lineup, minus Alizea blocked in. Marquette able to get it done and able to walk away with a second win in Big East play. And Matt, as we take a look at the highlights from this game, Creighton overcame a bit of a sluggish start to get back in it, but Marquette continue to put the pedal to the floor, get points in transition, points off of turnovers, and make it their kind of game today.
You know, I was impressed by the fight of Creighton. This is a team that's banged up. Of course, they're playing with some injuries, players not getting to practice as much as they would like to, and yet they came here today and they tried to swing punch for punch with this Marquette team. But they are playing a higher level of basketball than just about anybody else in the conference right now.
We're back here courtside in the Al McGuire Center. Patrick Reed, Matt Schumacher, and just focusing back on Marquette, it was a couple of big performances today that were notable. Selena Lott, career high in points. She's thought of as a defensive player. Amani Wilborn, 15 points as well. But you look at that plus-minus on the sheet, plus 27. That's a huge impact in the game.
Just an incredible team effort tonight from Marquette. And you heard it from Coach. They can do it in many different ways, and on any given night it could be someone else's turn. Selena Lott is the future of this Marquette team. Great to see Amani Wilborn back in the scoring column and playing confidently again. 22 assists tonight for Marquette. They share the basketball better than almost anyone in the country.
Marquette has tough tests ahead. These are two of the Big East best teams. Creighton will continue the road trip, and these are groups that might meet each other later down the road in that Big East tournament, as they have the last couple of years in the semifinals. So a preview of more to come, and Creighton some things to take away from this game that they'll work on with Coach Jim Flannery moving forward.
Yeah, I think, look, there's a lot to be confident about if you're Creighton, but the bottom line is a month ago this team didn't have two of its players that were on the floor tonight. And again, they're still figuring out what lineups work for them. They lost a player in Allie Green. She decided to retire early. That's hurt them a little bit in terms of their depth and rotation. She was a player who moved in and out of the starting lineup. I think this Creighton team will be fine. It's a matter of getting healthy for Jim Flannery's club.
But on New Year's Eve in Milwaukee, it is Marquette's afternoon as the Golden Eagles are now 2-0 in the Big East and flexing their muscles at home inside the Al McGuire Center. For everyone on our crew and for Jenny Fisher and Matt Schumacher, I'm Patrick Reed saying so long from Milwaukee. It's Marquette with an 85-67 win over Creighton. And you've been enjoying Big East women's basketball presented by SoFi.